Your product has components everywhere, buttons, modals, cards, but no one knows exactly what exists or where it lives. What if you could audit your entire code base and having a working component library built in Storybook in a day? Let me show you how. Today, I'm going to use cal.com's open source repo for my example. So first, I'm going to ask Claude Code to set up a component library within Storybook. So first, I want to get the full context and understanding of Storybook environment. I'm going to use a tool in MCP called Context 7. Context 7 pulls up-to-date documentation on any library or framework directly into your AI code base. So here's my prompt. Use Context 7 to understand how to build out a Storybook component library. I'm also going to use plan mode, like always, because I think that's the best way to work directly with Claude Code and make sure you are getting all your questions answered. Okay, so now it's going to go into Context 7. It has a basic understanding of the code base now. So here it's putting out a plan to be able to take the 50 plus UI components that it has in cal.com. So it's going to create a Storybook Global CS. Let's see. So I don't want it to implement all of the components at once. And I say this because I've tried this method and I don't think the components translate perfectly. So what I like to do is I like to go page by page and start building out the components. And yes, there are global components, obviously. But then I can kind of look at the component, make sure that the structure and everything makes sense so that we can perfect it before moving on to the next component instead of building all of them at once. So what I'm going to say is I want to up the structure of Storybook, and then I want to get clarity on all components from cal.com, and then I want to implement components one by one to start. Yes, exactly. Phase 1, set up Storybook infrastructure. Phase 2, catalog all components. Phase 3, implement stories one component at a time. So phase 1, which it just said, it's now going to give me the whole plan. Storybook infrastructure. Perfect. And it's going to create the framework, create the packages, create mock files, step through component catalog after phase 1, audit all the components, and then implement. Yes, clear, auto accept. And also while Claude Code is running, I am constantly reading and making sure that it's on track. So it's coming up with these action items. This makes sense to me. So I'm not just sitting here and I'm going and doing something else. Occasionally I will, but I think especially as a designer that doesn't have an engineering background, it's super, super useful to start to understand what Claude Code is doing. And it helps me get better and be able to communicate better with Claude Code. It wants to add Storybook dependencies. Yes. Okay, so first Storybook is installed. Now it's going to create the Storybook config files. And what's also great is it says it's going to create them in parallel when possible. So it's going to run multiple things at once, which is amazing. Amazing. Look, there's nothing here yet, but here is the beginning of Storybook. Stage 1 complete. Yay. Looks good. Let's go to phase 2. When I write prompts, I love to say lines like this. You are a world-class CTO, or you are the best product designer. So I'm going to say you are a world-class CTO. I want to get documentation of all the components in the product, break them down by global and page views, list them out in an easy and understandable way. Okay, now it's going to ask some questions. Where should the catalog document live? The plan proposes package UI component catalog. I think it should live here. I think this makes sense in an overall packages component catalog. No, I think it could just plan them with the brief description. Submit. Okay, so here's the plan. Phase 1 is complete, comprehensive. Now it's doing a comprehensive catalog of UI components. The catalog will live in a single markdown file organized in 2 major seconds, global and page view. So here it's already listing out all of the global and the paths. I also love that it has this complexity, simple, medium, complex, depending on the component. 17 simple, 20 medium, 7 complex. Then it's going to go into each view and it's telling us what is specifically on that page outside of the global. So settings has a bunch of new ones. It's going to create the catalog file, add storybook coverage tracking, love it. So then we can keep track of the ones that are done. Okay, this is perfect. Yes, clear. Let's do it. And while this is working in the background, if you and your company are looking for how to build out storybook component libraries, we have some openings. So please reach out. In the description, I will give my contact information, and I would love to chat a little bit more about your design challenges and how we can help. Perfect. So it has all information it needs. Now it's going to create a comprehensive catalog file. So it has a quick reference summary, global components, page views. Perfect. Okay, so here it is. It's all written in Markdown, but this is basically the full catalog, right? Now, we want to move on to phase 3. So, act as my world-class CTO. I want to start building components from the event types. Components from the event type page. List out all components on the event type page. Pull from the component catalog.md. So to repeat that, let's move to phase 3. Act as a world-class CTO. I want to start building components from the event type page. List out all the components on the event type page. Pull from the component catalog MD. Pulling out all the components that are on this page. Internal view components, unique global components. Okay, let's start with P0. I want to do one at a time and check it. Sure, we're in plan mode again. Okay, so it's going to start with phase 3. It's already pulling from the storybook that we created. We're going to first build a component, button, then a badge, then an icon. It's pulling all of the tokens here. The implementation approach. Prop values, perfect. So it's going to clearly define everything. Clear, let's go. Okay, it says that the storybook built successfully with the button story compiled. It's going to clean it out. A summary. Okay, so let's go take a look. So when I'm here, it says process is not defined. This sometimes happens, right? There's something wrong. So what I'm going to do, go to the page and take a look. There is an error. So it is using Playwright to go in and actually look at the page itself. So a really good troubleshooting is asking it to go look at the page and tell you what is wrong. Because then it's going to actually go to the page, look at the code. What I used to do is be like, hey, this is the error it's getting. And then it's like, okay, this is the error, this is the solution. But when it actually runs it itself, then it can really pick up on what's not working. I haven't seen leavening before. That one's fun. Okay, let's try again. There we go. So it has everything defined. You can, let's see, you can click on what the secondary button looks like, the minimal. icon. What I'm not seeing, oh, here we go. It looked like, back to primary. There isn't a hover state for primary, which I don't think is correct. Go here, see that? So this is why I like to do them one by one, because I want to make sure I'm capturing and understanding what's not working. Also, let's see if we can solve this, and then we're going to say, make sure this doesn't happen the next time you build a component. But it does look like the hover states are working for the others, just not. Okay, so I am actually going to use Whisperflow, which is my voice to text. Go look at the actual primary button in the platform and then look at it in Storybook. The primary hover state does not seem to be showing up in Storybook. Tell me why. I'm going to put this in plan mode again. So again, now it's going to open Playwright and it's going to go in and take a screenshot and capture the hover state and figure out why. See, now it says it sees that it has a lighter hover state. Now it's going to check Storybook. Okay, I can see the Storybook button resting in hovered state looks exactly identical, while the platform button clearly changes on hover. Now let me dig into the CSS to understand why. Okay, it's still diving deeper because it doesn't understand why. Found it. CSS rule are using @media_hover wrapping. This is a Tailwind v4 feature that only applies hover states on devices that support hover. Okay, so what I would suggest in this instance, this is a great use case of understanding this doesn't seem like the component is built in the best way possible. So this is probably a bigger conversation with the engineering team of how can we rebuild this component so it makes sense. Let's see if it's going to fix it. Okay, it found the root cause. Okay, so there was some confusion from the code and the tokens. So Storybook uses these default tokens, but the platform had custom brand colors. So it does seem like the components were not built in the best way possible. Okay, so this is its plan. And I was there when it was discovering all of it. So, okay, it's going to override to the CSS, which definitely, again, is not ideal. Okay, it says that it is working. Look, there we go. Success, it figured it out. So it looks like it is done. We can check and it works. So this was definitely a very long process and we had to do a lot of troubleshooting. What I want to ask is basically what I'm saying. There was a lot of back and forth and a lot of troubleshooting. How can we build in the process for the next component to make sure that we check everything and the output is closer to perfect on the first go round? What do you suggest? Again, I'm going to put it in plan mode and let's see. So now I've been doing this a lot with Claude Code is if something isn't working well, and we have to go back and forth a few times, asking why it didn't work well and what we can do better, and then putting that in and saving it so that we don't keep repeating the same problem. Great question. First, let me read the existing plan file and review what we went through. Then I'll put together a proposed process recommendation. It's going to put together a good pre-flight checklist. Amazing. Okay, so it looks like it's clearly defining what the problem was. Didn't catch the token environment mismatch early and spent time debugging CSS mechanics when the real problem was the Storybook's rendering context. Okay, where should the story development checklist live? Committed to the repo next to the Storybook config. Claude memory only. I want to document everything, so I'm going to say the first one. Okay. So this is the checklist that it's going to come up with. 2 things: Storybook development guide, actionable checklist for developing component stories, understand the component before writing any code, check the Storybook environment, and then write the stories. Verify before declaring done, cross-check. Yes, this is clear. Okay, the guide is created. and it's included token mismatch, which clearly is what happened. So that is definitely a great step when you're trying to fix a problem that keeps happening. We're basically setting ourselves up for success. The next step is to build out the next component. Hopefully the next component will go way smoother from here. And basically I can prompt it to say, okay, now refer to the documentation. What is the next P0 component that we should be building? Okay, so the cal itself doesn't tag P0, P1, P2 components. Okay, so it says the badge is the strongest candidate. I could also keep chatting with it. I think badge does make sense. So what I'm going to do is say, okay, based on the documentation and how we want to start building out components, reference our plan to create this badge component first. Tell me the plan, and then let's build it. So again, I'm going to go into plan mode and I'm going to go through this step. The goal is that we get closer and closer to moving quicker with building components. Usually after I've built around 3 to 4 components, I have enough knowledge of the component library and how to structure it and how to tell Claude Code to build it that I can start building in batches. So yes, this one took a long time. The third one will be half the time. Then I can batch them and say, hey, I want to do 10 components, follow all the documentation and make sure we don't run into any of the errors we've already created, build these 10. And then it's going to start batching them and you're going to continue to be able to build faster and faster on this component library. Another note to add is that there's a lot of new ways that we can create better components, especially using Claude Code and AI. A big part of it is this description writing. So when to use components and why, and when you teach Claude when to use them, it's going to be able to correctly build a page using the components that make the most sense. So I will be creating more videos in the future about this. Okay, as a little recap, here's what we did. First, we went with context 7 to pull all the context to create a storybook component library. Then we audited cal.com components and we put together a documentation and a plan of all of the components and everything that we need to do to make sure we are creating storybooks for all of the components. Then we went in and we built out the first individual component on a page. We ran into a few issues there, so we troubleshooted the issues, and then we told Claude Code to build a better checklist and process so we didn't have those problems in the future. This is a great starting point if you don't necessarily have a Figma component library set up yet, that you don't know exactly what components exist. So start here and continue to iterate and continue to build out your component library. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm putting out new content weekly about building faster with AI. Now go ship something.